Test, test. Hey everybody. I'm gonna look right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone, Niall here. I'm in Las Palmas, the Gran Canaria today, one of my favorite places in the world. And this video is all about skill selection, online skill selection. So I've been working for myself online for 7 years now. And for the past couple of years, I've been helping thousands of other people build online freelance businesses. And one of the questions I hear most often from these people is, which skill should I choose to freelance online? And this is a really important question because the skill you choose determines how much money you can earn, how much flexibility you will have, and how much enjoyment you'll get from your work. And it can be tough to choose a skill because there are a lot of options. For example, article writing, copywriting, editing, proofreading, Facebook ads, Google ads, graphic design, online tutoring, product descriptions, project management, SEO consulting, social media management, translation, video editing, virtual assistant, web development, and that's just to name a few. And by the way, any of those skills I just mentioned, you can learn good enough in 90 days or less, so 3 months or less, to make $1,000 a month freelancing online.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and to help you figure out which skill you should choose to build your freelance business, I'm going to share with you a 3-step process that I like to call the Hedgehog method of skill selection. Why is it called the Hedgehog method? Well, it's a simple method, and hedgehogs, they're simple creatures. The way to visualize the 3 steps of the Hedgehog method is like so. 3 interconnected circles. Each of these circles represents a criteria that your chosen skill should meet. If it meets all 3, as represented by that green triangle in the middle there, well then you've got yourself a contender. So the first circle we're going to talk about, the first criteria is something there's an established online market for.
Show me the money.
There needs to be an established online market for the skill you choose. That skill needs to be in demand. In other words, you need to have people willing to pay you money to perform that skill, to do what you do, whether that be writing, web design, teaching online, whatever. Here's a graph from CB Insights showing the top reasons startups fail. And as you can see there, by far the biggest reason is no market need. And I'd be willing to bet that that's a major reason why freelance businesses fail as well. So making sure there's a market there for the skill you choose is really, really important. So how do you actually discover which skills there is a market for, or which skills there is soon to be a market for? Well, a quick and easy place to get a feel for that is on Upwork.com, the biggest freelance marketplace on the internet. Now, Upwork is by no means the only place to find work online. In fact, it's not even the first or even the second place you should be looking for clients online. More about that in another video. But because Upwork is so big, we can poke around and get a solid overview of what skills are in demand. In particular, here are 2 things I recommend you check out on Upwork. The first is the latest data trends and research. You will find links to reports about online work trends on this page at Upwork.com. It's worth having a quick look through those to see which skills are becoming increasingly in demand. For example, here are the top 20 fastest growing skills in a recent 3-month period on Upwork. From that list, you can clearly see what there's an increasing demand for. And then the question you need to ask yourself is, do any of those jobs sound interesting to me? Second thing to check out on Upwork is their big list of job categories. This is a list of all the top job categories on Upwork. Have a browse and click through to view the latest job postings for the categories you like the sound of. This will give you a feel for the exact kind of work on offer and how much money you could earn doing that work. And as you're looking through those job listings, take note of 3 things. First, how many jobs are posted in each category? Sort by newest and then check how many jobs were posted in the past 24 hours. The general rule of thumb here is more postings equals big market equals more opportunities for you. The second thing to take note of is how many of the listed jobs are accepting entry-level freelancers, as opposed to intermediate and expert level freelancers. Assuming you don't have any or much experience right now, those jobs will be your bread and butter starting out. So the more of those you find, the better. And a third and final point here is that you shouldn't pay too much attention to the rates of pay you see on Upwork, because most of the time they'll be quite low. Don't worry about that for now. As mentioned earlier, Upwork is not the first place you should be looking for clients anyway. In another video, I'll show you how to find better and higher paying clients elsewhere. Okay, so that's our first circle taken care of. By now you should have a good overview of what online skills are in demand. So let's move to the second circle. You want to choose a skill that you enjoy doing, or at least don't hate. And that last bit is really important. As I explained in another video, you don't have to love the work that you do. I, for example, am a freelance web designer, but I don't love web design. I only like web design, but I love the freedom that it gives me. Thanks largely to that skill, I've been able to make enough money to travel the world for the past 7 years and not settle for a real job. Okay, back to our circles. Based on your research in step 1, you now want to come up with a list of 5 to 10 jobs you think you would enjoy. If you're not sure which type of freelance work you would enjoy, then you didn't spend enough time looking at jobs on Upwork in step 1. It's important to actually dig in there and look at the jobs posted in each category and get a feel for the type of work you would be doing. And don't write any category off too easily. Remember, you don't have to love the work. You just have to like it good enough to spend a few hours at it each week in return for all the benefits that come from working online. The freedom to set your own hours, the freedom to work from anywhere in the world, not having to have a boss, not having to wear pants while you work. So again, you don't have to love the work. As long as it gives you the freedom to live life on your own terms, then liking the work is good enough. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to assume that you've put in the work and come up with a list of 5 to 10 jobs you think you'd enjoy doing. Let's move on now to step 3, the third circle. Something you can do or learn to do better than most people. A few things to keep in mind here. The first is time constraints. I tend to believe you can learn pretty much any skill to a professional level given enough time and practice. But our aim here is to get you earning as quickly as possible, ideally within the next 90 days. So we want to select a skill that you can learn good enough in 3 months that clients will be happy to pay you at least $10 an hour consistently. And then you can quickly raise your rate as you gain experience and collect references. A good example of this is Justin from the United States, who spent 2 months teaching himself web design and digital marketing. Actually found his first jobs at only $9 an hour, but then within a year had worked his way up to $40 to $50 an hour. And that, my friends, works out to $2,400 a month, working part-time online from anywhere in the world on your own schedule. The second thing to keep in mind here, your personal strengths and weaknesses. Your strengths and weaknesses go a long way to determining how quickly you can become proficient at a particular skill. For example, some people can pick up programming concepts really quick and be writing and debugging their own functions in a matter of days, while others will find that kind of work frustrating and unintuitive. Here are some questions you can use to figure out your strengths and weaknesses. Spending some time with these questions will serve you well. And the third and final thing to keep in mind here is resources. You should take into consideration how much help there is available for learning certain skills. For example, there are tons of resources online, many of them free, for learning skills like web development, programming, and social media marketing. But there aren't so many good resources online for learning skills like interior design and paralegal services. So for each skill you're interested in, do a quick Google search to see what resources are available. Are there online courses? Are there free tutorials? Are there podcasts? Can you find interviews with successful freelancers? Can you reach out to those successful freelancers and ask them for advice? What you're really trying to figure out here is how easily you will be able to develop your skill. The better and more accessible the resources you find, the faster you learn, and the sooner you'll be skilled enough to go and find clients and land paying gigs.
Are we there yet?
Yes, we're pretty much done. Let's wrap it up with a quick review. Our mission today was to figure out and choose a solid skill that you can use to make money freelancing online. As per the Hedgehog method, we've been looking for a skill that lies at the intersection of these three circles, and I've run you through the simple 3-step process to find it. Now it's time to narrow down your options and make a firm choice as to which skill you're going to focus on. And listen, if you're really hesitant to commit to anything right now, that's fine, but it's good to at least choose something, anything really, to start experimenting with. You can always come back and try something different later. But doing nothing now isn't going to help you figure it out. Err on the side of taking action. That's the fastest way to get where you want to go. Okay, with all that in mind, I want you to answer me this in the comments. Which skill are you going to focus on? Thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.